just too. And I think we've made good progress so far.
Well, look, while we've got you, there's a very interesting story in one or two of the newspapers this morning that you've just uncovered a Roman town underneath a field in Northamptonshire on the route.
That's right. I mean, HS2 is many things, and one of the things it is the biggest archaeology project we've seen here in the UK. And as your pictures show, we've uncovered what we thought was an Iron Age settlement, and actually this 10-metre wide Roman road. And our friends at the Museum of London Archaeology are sort of beside themselves at this discovery, one of many we've already found so far. And as you say, it's sort of newsworthy and caught people's attention today.
It's fascinating stuff. Mark, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Now, some other business news stories for you. And the cost of hiring new staff, paying existing ones more and investing in new facilities has led to a drop in profits at the retailer and miniatures manufacturer Games Workshop. Pre-tax profits for the 6 months to the end of November fell by 4% to £88.2 million, despite a 3% rise in sales to £191.5 million. Kevin Roundtree, the chief executive, said that the company, best known for its Warhammer game, had not delivered to its full potential due to having to delay some of its new products because of shipping issues. The Competition and Markets Authority said today it may accept remedies offered by Pennon Group, the owner of South West Water, to address its concerns over the takeover of the smaller Bristol Water. Well, Pennon agreed a £425 million takeover of Bristol Water in June last year, but just before Christmas, the CMA warned that the deal was likely to affect Ofwat's ability to make comparisons between water companies. Pennon subsequently agreed to maintain separate price controls for Bristol Water. And Heathrow Airport said this morning that at least 600,000 passengers cancelled travel plans from Heathrow in December due to Omicron and the uncertainty caused by government travel restrictions. The airport welcomed some 19.4 million passengers during 2021 as a whole. That was down 12.3% on 2020 and less than 1/4 of the levels seen in 2019. Well, Heathrow said the government should remove all testing immediately for fully vaccinated passengers, as there was significant doubt over the speed at which demand for air travel would recover. Now, the biggest theme in the jobs market currently is the Great Resignation and how employers can keep valued employees to prevent skill shortages. Well, one way of tackling the problem is helping staff develop their skills through e-learning. And the UK company Loop, whose clients include Klarna, the Financial Times and ASOS, is a leading player in the field. It yesterday agreed a $20 million takeover by 360 Learning, the French edtech company whose backers include the Japanese tech investment giant SoftBank. Well, joining me now is Loop's chief executive, Ben Moselle. Ben, welcome to you. Why did you choose to sell rather than carry on growing the business yourself?
Yeah, thanks. Look, that was certainly an option, given we've been doubling each of the past couple of years. But I guess it's the way you look at it. In the way that we've structured the deal, we don't see it as selling up. We see this as positioning us for the next phase of growth, and certainly looking forward to that.
And how do you see yourself fitting together with 360 Learning?
Well, the deal happened quite naturally. We were approached a lot over the last couple of years, and nothing really felt quite right. But this was quite organic. We share a shared view of how learning and development can improve organisations' productivity and performance. So we think that our products and our approaches are quite complementary, and 1 + 1 = 3 there. And from a growth perspective, 360 Learning recently raised $200 million through a combination of VCs that are quite enviable in Sumeru, SoftBank and Silver Lake. So we think that they're pretty well positioned for expansion and growth.
Absolutely. As you say, they've got some fairly deep-pocketed backers. Presumably that's going to open a few doors for you.
Yeah, that's certainly the idea. I think that we're very big on product-led growth, and we've got a lot of ideas around innovation that we can bring to the market, and the combination of that and just the financial muscle to be able to spread quickly in an industry that's set to double in the next 5 years.
And who's the competition? Who do you regard as the main rivals?
Oh, look, there's a lot of big players out there that you'll see in the media, Docebo, Degreed, and so on. But we feel like we've got a unique approach that doesn't rely on hitting hopes and silver bullets. It's more about focusing on the collaboration and the context of an organisation itself to increase productivity and performance, rather than the hopes of generic content filling the skills gap.
I mean, it's interesting. You've just said that you think the market's going to double in size over coming years. But I mean, do you really think that's the case? I mean, obviously, e-learning must have benefited from the pandemic. But is there a danger it sort of peters out once people return to the office?
Oh, look, I don't think so. I think that the world has changed a bit. You're talking about the Great Resignation, and that's the combination of that and remote work has given people choice, and you're seeing that in the property markets with where people choose to live as well. So I think that organisations will continue to double down on the experiences that they create for their employees. Number one, to retain them, but two, to increase productivity. It's just a must.
And for people who are unfamiliar with how you deliver e-learning, give me an example of the sort of typical things that you do.
So I guess, with Loop, we help both the L&D teams to scale their impact by automating routine jobs so they can focus on performance and, not admin, solving the biggest problems in the organisation. And then from the employee's perspective, we start from the basis that no employee actually wants to sit in the learning platform and swan around and try and find something. We believe that they're busy trying to do their job. So our automation technology also has integrations to all of the tools that people use at work, whether it be Slack, Teams, email, text message, and we enable our customers to bring the information to the users at the times that they deem most relevant. So rather than overwhelm them by giving them everything they could possibly need on their first day or their first week, for a new starter as an example, we allow them to dose that over a period of time.
All right, Ben, got to leave it there. Good to see you, and thanks for joining me at such an unsociable hour. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll be having a look at how global markets are doing this Tuesday morning. Don't go away.
Why is it that in a household, when there's a case of COVID, some people get infected, but others, despite all that exposure to the COVID case, seem to somehow resist infection? It's a widely observed phenomenon, and we wanted to answer that question. And there had been a theory, which was that because many common colds, not all of them, but many are caused by a different type of coronavirus, if you like, a distant cousin of the COVID virus. And there'd been a theory that perhaps the T-cell immunity induced by these common cold coronaviruses might be able to cross-protect against SARS-CoV-2, the COVID virus. So we set about to test that theory in households in London, and very grateful to all the people that took part across the city in the second wave of the pandemic. And people took part whenever they had someone in the house that had PCR confirmed COVID. And we measured these T cells as we enrolled the contacts, and then we followed the contacts to see if they would get infected or not. And what we found was that those who had these T cells that had previously been induced by common cold didn't get infected. So this was a very striking finding, suggesting that this T cell immunity is cross-protective, it's real, it's operative in real life, in people in households, and that it's rather effective, because if you have the T cells, you didn't seem to get infected.
Well, more declines on Wall Street last night, in which at one point the Nasdaq was down by 3%, were followed by a disappointing session for stocks in the Asia-Pacific region. Mumbai, which isn't on the screen, finished higher, but elsewhere there were losses in Tokyo, Shanghai and in Sydney. Hong Kong was more or less unchanged. But in Europe, though, stocks have staged something of a rally since the opening a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current picture. All of the main indices in positive territory right now. Among talking points in Europe today, the telecoms equipment maker Nokia is ahead by nearly 3% in Helsinki. That's on news that its 2021 results are going to be better than expected. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory, up just over 0.5% higher, led by some of the mining heavyweights. The leading blue chip gainer right now, though, is Decra Pharmaceuticals, which is up some 3.75%. That's after it bought world rights for treatment to canine lymphoma. It specialises in veterinary drugs, that company. Meanwhile, the life company Phoenix, its shares are ahead by 3.5%. That's on news it's completed 4 big bulk annuity deals. Among the fallers on the FTSE this morning, Reckitt is off some 2.25% on downbeat broker comment. Well, outside the FTSE, the cybersecurity firm Darktrace is ahead by more than 18% as it upgraded its forecasts for both sales and its expected margins this year, while the staffing group Hays is ahead by nearly 5%. That's after it got a push from one of the brokers. On the foreign exchange markets, the pound traded above $1.36 yesterday for the first time since the 9th of November. Amid talk of further Bank of England rate rises, it's largely held on to those gains. And as you can see, it's ahead by roughly 1/5% against both the greenback and the euro. As for the oil price, well, that sold off later in yesterday's session, but it's rallied this morning. A barrel of Brent crude currently up by just under 1.5% at $82.02 a barrel. Well, joining me now is Melissa Davis. She's chief economist at Redburn. Melissa, welcome to you. Is it too late to say Happy New Year? Sterling is on a bit of a roll right now. This is all presumably about the Bank of England. Are you expecting another rate hike next month?
Yeah, I think in February it's reasonable to expect we'll see another hike, and then the bank is quite likely to follow the Fed, I think, and start talking about quantitative tightening. Beyond that, it does get a bit murkier because once we're through the spring, you should see inflation starting to decelerate, and also the effects of fiscal tightening will start to come through more noticeably. So it's not a given that we'll have more than one rate hike. But I think in the early part of the year, the bank will want to get another hike in.
Presumably, though, this sterling strength, I mean, that's actually quite good news in that it puts a bit of a dampener on import inflation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's, reason to be kind of optimistic about the UK in terms of the evolution of Omicron, that we're quite early in seeing a wave of Omicron, and we're showing that it is highly contagious but also mild, and there is a path out of the pandemic. So there may be some just optimism about the outlook for the UK actually relative to how things felt in December, where things were still quite unclear about how the virus would evolve.
Now, it's obviously a big week for data. We obviously have US inflation later this week. We hear from Jay Powell, the Fed chairman, later on today. What are you expecting to hear from him?
Well, I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about plans to shrink the balance sheet. So in the Fed minutes that we got last week, there was a lot of discussion about how the Fed really wants to start shrinking that balance sheet and to do it quickly, and a lot of discussion about the trade-off between rates and the balance sheet. So I think there's scope to hear more about that. And then I think, inflation, we could have a 7 number in the US, and it's all about laying out the path of how that's going to moderate over time. So the annualization of commodity prices, the easing of supply chain pressures, of which there's building evidence now, and so he needs to really lay out a path that's credible, that sees inflation decelerating for the rest of the year, basically from the spring at least, that allows the Fed to continue charting this path of gradual rate hikes and a shift towards trying to shrink the balance sheet.
You mentioned inflation with a 7 on the front of it, potentially in the US. We've got that in Germany right now. How long before that starts to play out in a strange relationship with the European Central Bank?
Yeah, so the good news for the European Central Bank is there's a VAT effect in Germany which will drop out in January, which I believe is worth about 1.5 percentage points. So that's going to help enormously. And then Europe will see the same commodity price annualizations dropping out in the spring, the same benefits from supply chain pressures unwinding. So that they're actually in a much better position, and it's much easier to chart a path basically where inflation in the Eurozone actually drops below 2% in the second half of the year. So that's why they're so much more dovish, why they're still doing QE, and why they're much more cautious. So the scope for things to go wrong is much higher in the US, and the ECB is in a much more comfortable position, I think.
All right, Melissa, we have to leave it there. Always good to talk to you. See you soon. Thank you. Now, the continuing unrest in Kazakhstan has been blamed for helping contribute to volatility in cryptocurrencies. Kazakhstan's the world's second biggest miner of Bitcoin behind the United States. The shutting down of the internet in the country in recent days is claimed to have taken out 18% of global Bitcoin production, and in apparent subversion of supply and demand rules, supposedly caused an 8% drop in the cryptocurrency's price. Well, for more on this, let's go to Kazakhstan and speak to Alan Dorjiev. He's president of the Blockchain Association of Kazakhstan. Alan, very good morning to you. So tell me about the volatility. Was this contributed to by the riots, in your opinion?
I think so, because the hash rate has dropped significantly because Kazakhstan was offline for like 5 days in a row. And I think this contributed a lot to the volatility, and the price dropped down.
But it was quite surprising to me, if you study classical economics, when the supply of something goes down, then the price goes up normally if demand is still high, yet the price of Bitcoin actually fell last week.
Yeah, there is a different mechanism happening here. When the hash rate of the Bitcoin protocol is dropping down, usually the price is also dropping down. So it's going down, and this mechanism appears the second time, I think third time already in a row for the last year.
Now, Kazakhstan went out of its way to attract Bitcoin miners when China clamped down on the activity. Why was that?
Well, the reason right now Kazakhstan is suffering with the shadow mining. This has happened after the ban of crypto mining activity in China, and right now we are the second biggest. But at the same time, we do see that the shadow mining, this individual mining that are operating at their houses, is increasing a lot, and the consumption of electricity is also increasing a lot.
But how does the Kazakhstan economy benefit from this activity taking place in the country? Yes,
Kazakhstan is benefiting a lot because Kazakhstan right now is second biggest in the world in terms of the hash rate after the US. So a lot of investors from all over the world are coming to Kazakhstan. But it's worth saying that the biggest investors are not coming from China. They're coming from Europe and from US, from Canada, from Korea and Japan.
And is the activity fairly evenly distributed across the country?
It's not. The main activity of crypto mining data centers, they are all located in the northern part, and the northern part was quite peaceful. There were no protests, there were no terrorist attacks, so all the data centers are safe. At the same time, the security increased a lot in the data center.
And how does, it's obviously a very, very energy intensive process, Bitcoin mining. How does Kazakhstan meet the demand?
At this point of time, it meets a demand when the peak hours for the energy consumption is in the evening. So a lot of electricity to cover this peak demand is coming from the neighboring countries. Same logic as the energy grid in US and Canada when they support each other.
And I mean, obviously, Kazakhstan is energy self-sufficient, but what about the strength of the grid network? Is that up to dealing with this extra demand?
No, there are no problems with that at all. So state grid is more or less okay, and it's fine. So the electricity is coming in into Kazakhstan, so it's normal.
All right, Alan Dorjiev, good to talk to you this morning. Thanks for joining me. Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. How to deal with mental health issues in the workplace. Don't go away.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food, Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world in adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Body, it's your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker, Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there. This is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie.
Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele. 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 Wa milele. Wa milele. Wa milele. Wa milele. Wa milele. Oh Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wazima wa milele.
Okay, so let me say massive good morning to you wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you. My apologies for the few minutes late start. But hey, I'm here in the house. Let me say a special good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, in the house as well. Yes, we're trying to put few things together to make sure that the program takes along very, very nicely. But on that note, let me say welcome. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Let me extend my greetings to each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. To Mr. Francis, Frank Davids, Mr. Kojo D, my brother Felix all the way in Aberdeen, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. That's it for this morning. I salute you all. So once again, let me say welcome to the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 11th day of January, the year 2022. With the time now 10:44. So if it's the first time of tuning in to listen to us or watch us on the Starr Radio UK Tuesday edition of the morning show, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, and then the travel update suit. Then after that, I'll bring you global trotting. After that, we'll go to Nigeria, around the globe for update, global trotting. My apologies, global trotting. That is the news that is making the rounds across the globe. Then exactly at 11 o'clock, I'll be taking you to Nigeria for updates from Nigeria. And then we'll come back to have a look at some of the stories that is making the rounds from home here in the UK to other parts of the world. But I've got a big question that I'm asking today. I started asking it this door and asking other people as well. Well, I don't know your take, but I want to have your take. Partygate. Pertaining to the Prime Minister locking the country down, and meanwhile they were also enjoying themselves. Do you think that is going to bring the government down, or that's going to bring Boris Johnson down? I want to know more about that. What do you think? People are so angry about the whole thing. People who lost their loved ones during that time, and they said, nah, you cannot go close to your parent or whoever because you are not living in a bubble and all that stuff. So agreed. But it's one of those things. Let's forgive and forget and let's move on. Or this time around, you reckon that it's going to be things falling apart, and this time around the center cannot hold. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate, and let's ride on. Whether you're sitting, sit very comfortably, you're standing, hold on to something. And again, exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. And then we'll move on from there. At 1 o'clock, we'll bring the program to a close. But during the course of the program, you want to share your take with us before the lines are open. Feel free, just post it on our Facebook page, and I promise you, we're going to read that. During the course of the program, I'll be having Mr. Frank Davis joining in, and Kojo D as well. So welcome once again. I remain yours sincerely.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Straight to the quote of the day. It says, a great leader must be bright and be outward and forward looking. A great leader must be bright and be outward and forward looking, not inward looking, not being myopic. So what kind of leader are you? I want to hear and what are the experiences there as well. It is Starr Radio UK. Special good morning goes all the way to Chris Padali and the family as well, and all the workers and management of that Gabby Dave, the e-market platform. Well, interestingly, we're going to be having Chris Fideli joining us on Thursday. We're going to be telling you more about that. For those of you who want to trade, you don't have the permission to trade on eBay and Amazon and Alibaba. There is a platform for you. So make sure you listen to us on Thursday when she's going to be on the show once again. Playing in the background something from the Joyful Way Incorporated. Okay. Let's move on straight to the weather front and let's move on with the program as well. So, the weather has it today for you. This afternoon, thick cloud will linger with a chance of the odd spot of rain, but there may be the odd brighter spell towards the end of the day as well. And then this evening, we'll see clouds clear away. Overnight, it will be mainly clear with light winds. Mist and fog is expected to develop with some dense patches, possibly a chilly night expected as well. Temperature is going to be 10 degrees, the low is going to be 2 degrees. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low. Sunset 16:15 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 08:03 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you. And we're going to move on straight to the travel update as well. Don't you worry, I will let you enjoy the music in a jiffy. Stay tuned.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll born. The travel update that comes to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:50. Okay, so on the underground this morning, the central line is partly suspended. No service between Leytonstone and Hainault via Newbury Park and between Hainault and Woodford via Grange Hill while they fix a faulty train. Good service on the rest of the line. London buses are accepting tickets via any reasonable routes. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise I'll born. Now on the Waterloo and City lines, I've got planned closures there as well. Now on the London Overground, there are issues there. As we did announce, until Friday, the 14th of January, a reduced service is operating every 30 minutes between Surrey Quays and New Cross. And then from Richmond and Willesden Junction as well. So check before you leave if you use any of those routes. That aside, DLR, TFL, Rail, London Tram, good service, and all the other underground services are in good service. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated. I promise our boy. Check it out. Now moving on straight to the river bus this morning. On the river bus, Woolwich Ferries got suspended. That aside, all the others have got good service. Moving on straight to the National Rail. On the National Rail, Gatwick Express has got special service Great Northern, special service Southeastern, special service Southern, special service and Thameslink, special service there as well. Now moving on to the final segment of the travel update as well. A316 has got closures. A4 closures, Central London Red Routes closures. A1 serious delays. A20 serious delays. A41 serious delays there as well. And as I will say once again, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Yes, welcome back to the program once again, the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Once more, I hope that making your morning wherever you are. Let me say a special good morning to Mr. Danterbury, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man, and the family there as well. Mrs. Evelyn Tabury and the girls. And a special good morning goes all the way to Milton Keynes. Her pastor and Mrs. Pastor Ado. And a special one goes to Sal and the kids there. Massive good morning to you all. Okay, let's go global trotting. Then. The Prime Minister under pressure over federal lockdown drinks party. Now, witnesses say Boris Johnson and his wife were among 30 people who attended the event on the 20th of May 2020. That was at the heights of it all. It was before he tested positive to COVID, wasn't it? So, they said one thing to us and then they were doing another thing. But what do you think about all that? Is it hypocrisy, and should that bring him down? The Partygate. What do you think? I want to know your take on that. I'll try to see whether I can conduct a survey of that as well. Okay, some other stories making the rounds. No escape for number 10 from party claims. The political pressures had cooled, but the Downing Street print changed their asks. All the journalists going around this morning. A PCR test end in England for no symptoms cases. A positive lateral flow result can now be taken as a first and final confirmation that you have COVID. Doesn't that go far enough for you to make sure that you have a peaceful mind that, look, I don't have it, or actually I have it. Inmate who had stillborn baby will never forgive jail. Now, Louise Powell, 31, said she begged for an ambulance before her baby died at HMP style in Cheshire. Wow. When your freedom is curtailed, that's how bad it tastes like. The energy firm, sorry over pet cuddling warmth advice over energy. Yes, which own SSE says it is embarrassed over advice sent to its customers on how to stay warm. And you know how to stay warm? Cuddle up to your pets. Or be trotting in your house, in your room. Okay, Heathrow hit by 600,000 cancellation in December. Now, fresh travel restrictions sparked a wave of cancelled bookings at Britain's busiest airport. Early cancer diagnosis could have saved my mom as symptoms of the 6 most deadliest cancer are revealed. A task force says early diagnosis is vital. Well, this is some story making the rounds here in the UK. I'm moving on straight to other parts of the world as well. A US man gets pig heart in world first transplant. Now, David Bennett, 57, is doing well 3 days after the experimental surgery, doctors say. So how is it going to be? Okay, interesting. Scientific advancement. My goodness. Now, what at stake in the struggle over U.S. voting laws? Democrats are readying a high-stakes battle over elections, an issue both parties want to reform. Well, and the European Parliament President David Sassoli is dead. The Italian was admitted to hospital last month due to serious complications with his immune system. What actually caused that? Immune system? What caused that? Are you catching my drift? Well, the Djokovic saga damaging, says tennis governing body. The controversy over the Starr's visa to enter Australia has been damaging on all fronts, the ATP saying. However, there are new rumors going on that the Home Secretary there can or might take back the visa that has been granted him once again. Why you want peace? Well, I don't think in this world we have any peace there. North Korea has fired suspected ballistic missile again. It comes as a sixth nation, including the US, calls for the North to stop its destabilizing actions. Star Radio UK. Well, former Israeli Prime Minister face off in court in libel case. Benjamin Netanyahu and his family are suing Ehud Olmert for claiming that they were mentally ill. Oh my goodness. And then a Palestinian has been killed in truck and bush crash. It happened on a stretch of a major road in West Bank known to be hazardous, a report is saying. Russian and Ukrainian conflict that seems to be going on. The Russians have said, we will not attack Ukraine. Russia tells US. Russian officials downplayed a threat to neighboring Ukraine during high-stakes talks in Geneva yesterday. And the Sweden Prime Minister is under fire for illegal immigrant cleaner. Now, Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson says she was assured all company employees were working legally. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to a minute after 11. So on some of the updates making the rounds in other parts of the world, the global trotting in on the African continent. Uganda's prosecutor has withdrawn case against Bobby Wine. The opposition politician had been accused of giving false details about his age. You know, when there are other important things that we have to think about, and people think that, oh, because he changes his date of birth, yeah? How old is the president? Or is he too young? Was he too young to stand for the presidential bid? Or contest? Or election? Well, we'll be looking into that as well. The Biden concerned over civilian deaths in Ethiopia. US president also welcomes the release of Ethiopian opposition leaders in call with Prime Minister Abiy. Well, in Malawi, there's a backlash over Malawi amnesty for corrupt leaders. Attorney General said anyone admitting fraud or corruption for the next 2 months will not face prosecution. Interesting. People are just rushing in to say, hey, you know, I swindled the country by that amount, or so. And therefore, I've come within the 2 months window, and therefore I'm free. But are they going to be refunding whatever they've stolen? Or you just you keep it and then you go scot-free? Well. We're looking into all that in a moment. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK. Then the Mali Junta leader says they are open to dialogue after the sanctions that was placed on them by the ECOWAS, the sub-regional body. I'll bring you more on that front as well. Did they see that it's going to be biting so much that they decided, no, you know what? Let's call a truce. And what that truce is going to be is one thing that we're going to be looking into in a moment. But it's all coming away from Star Radio UK. Well, it's gotten to a point where the killings that is going on and abductions and everything that seems to be going on in Nigeria has got to a point that the UN are now making statements about it. Now, UN is urging Nigerian government to arrest perpetrators of the Zamfara killings. That's one of the stories making the rounds there in Nigeria. But I promise you, we're going to be looking at it in a moment. Some of the other headlines from Nigeria as well. Niger Delta Group urges Buhari to end ongoing illegality in NDDC. What is all that about? I'll be bringing you more on that front in the next few moments. Well, if you are in the Sub-African region, do you think that the advice by the IMF that some of these countries should devalue their currency? Would you want your currency to be devalued, or even your actions or inactions is calling for that to happen? I want to know what you think about all that. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. shock as popular broadcaster dies in Abuja. Those are the stories making the rounds there. Former Nigeria head of state, Ernest Shonikan, dies at 85. Okay, this and a lot more I'm going to be bringing you from Nigeria as well. So don't you go away. Now moving on straight to Ghana as well. Ghanaian journalists are poor, the GJA president says. Well, your greatest asset is credibility, not lies. Otunfo to journalists as well. Yesterday I did touch on this story, but we didn't go into details with it. Now, EC boss is being called upon to be sacked. The Fix the Country is saying that because of the disenfranchisement of the South region, the EC boss should be fired. A year on, and they've not been, call it a by-election. Let's call it that way. A by-election. Why not? Why not? Is it that when they go for that by-election, there's a tendency that the opposition party, that's the NDC, could win, and that swings the parliamentary system. So if they have majority now, the government is going to be at their beck and call. Well, it is All Star Radio UK. What will cause the what do you call them? The EC Ghana to say that look, we need to conduct another election. What is going to cause them to do so? The Ghanaian forces are petitioning the police to investigate as a past allegation about the presidential jet. Is it by way of gagging them, or they think that maybe what they said is not true at all and they need it investigated? Can you feel the music? Yes, I can feel it. Well, Rasmo Barak says, I will not re-register my SIM. I will lead a protest if I am blocked. Rasmo Barak says the government mandates re-registration of SIM cards. Now, why are they doing so? And wasting manpower hours by people queuing. How many days now? I think it's almost about how many days? Apart from the bank holiday and everything that they had in Ghana on Friday. Friday was a bank holiday, the Democracy Day, and the weekend, blah blah blah. Monday, people were back on the streets again. What? Queuing to get their SIMs re-registered. And I was saying that the other time, I think last Thursday, was it last Thursday or last Friday? It was last Friday, that my old man would not want to go queue for that kind of hours to re-register his SIMs. He would just tell you that they let it go. Now, what do you think about all that? Yes. So, Star Radio UK coming your way. We're going to be looking more into all the stories that have gone on. But get yourself geared up. I'm going to bring you updates from Nigeria. But meanwhile, enjoy this song and I will be with you. All right then.
together.
It's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the show. It's now gone exactly 17 minutes past the top of the hour. It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Like I said, I'll be joined by my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis and Kojo D during the course of the program. But a special announcement this afternoon exactly at 1:30. BB Clement will be coming your way with BB Means Business. And today she's looking at part 2 of important business trends for 2022. Important business trends for 2022. Yesterday, Wilco's announced the closure of 15 stores. Consumer behavior is changing very quickly. Those who do not understand this and fail to prepare for the changes in the marketplace will go under. 2022 is a game changer. As an entrepreneur, you need all the help you can to get on. All right then. So you want to know more? Join us. Join BB Clement exactly at 1:30 when she comes your way with BB Means Business. All right then. So now let's move on to updates from Nigeria. And as I've said, get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate, and let's go to Nigeria for the updates that is making the rounds in Nigeria today. Okay. Now let me bring you some of the other headlines from there and then we'll move on. Well, photo of Nigerians arrested for drug trafficking in Cambodia, but no evidence, men sentenced to death. That's one of the other stories making the rounds in Nigeria this morning as well. And then as I did say earlier on, bill to outlaw strike in health sector, NLC to mobilize protests to doorstep constituency over of sponsors Waba. Those are some of the stories. And then some other ones that is making the rounds. Okay. Gunman kidnap Plateau Deputy Chief of Staff's wife, health director. Well, we'll be looking into all those in a moment. But now, let's quickly go to one of the stories making the rounds this morning. And which one is that? The former Nigerian head of state, Ernest Shonikan, has died age 85. Chief Ernest Adengole Olediende Shonikan, GCFR, the former head of the interim national government that succeeded the military junta of General Ibrahim Babangida, is dead. He died in Lagos at the age of 85. At the time of his death, he was the third oldest surviving Nigerian head of state by age after Queen Elizabeth II and Yakubu Gowon. Now, Shonikan, a lawyer, a technocrat, and boardroom guru, was the chairman and and the chief executive of the United African Company, UAC, of Nigeria, a successor of the Royal Niger Company. It was a vast conglomerate which at the time was the largest African controlled company in sub-Saharan Africa. He goes on further to say that was before his selection to head the interim national government. Shonikan was the chairman of the interim national government between 26th of August and 17th of November 1993. He was ousted in the palace coup led by late General Sani Abacha, who was Secretary of Defense. Now, Shonikan was born on the 9th of May 1936 in Lagos to an Abeokuta-born civil servant. Shonikan was educated at the CMS Grammar School and Igbobi College. He received the law degrees from the University of London and was called to the bar. He later attended Harvard Business School, and Shonikan joined the United African Company of Nigeria in 1964, at the time a subsidiary of the United Africa Company, which played a prominent role in British colonization. He rose through the ranks in the company and was promoted assistant legal advisor. He later became a deputy advisor and joined the board of directors at the age of 40. He was made chairman and managing director in 1980 and went on to cultivate a wide array of international businesses and political connections. And we say to the family, our condolences, and to him, we say, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Also in Nigeria, Niger Delta Group urges Buhari to end ongoing illegality in NDDC. And then the other story, okay, one has eluded me, but I'm doing my best to see whether I can get it. Okay, yes, the NLC has condemned Zamfara massacre and urging government to fish out bandits. I'll try to bring that one and link it up with the one that is coming from the UN. The call by the UN to say that, well, they need to, Nigeria has to bring perpetrators to book there as well. We'll be looking into all that in a moment. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I beseech you, brethren, by the message of God, to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. You have something good, share with your neighbor. Okay. The Nigerian Labour Congress on Tuesday called on the state federal government to fish out those behind the killings of over 200 innocent persons in Zamfara state. The NLC, which expressed displeasure and disappointment over the massacre in a statement by its president, Comrade Ayuba Waba, enjoined the government to prioritize the creation of decent jobs for Nigerian youth to prevent their availability for criminal engagements. It goes on further to say it is also suggested that the extension of social security cover to vulnerable Nigerians, promotion of the rule of law, and institutionalization of good governance. The statement, while condemning the visitation of evil on innocent Nigerians in the new year, also condemned the wickedness and inhumanity of terrorists who seeks to make death and destruction the new normal for millions of Nigerians, especially those in the northeast and northwest. According to him, there are no words to describe the iniquitous visitation of such barbarism on a defenseless civilian population. Now, eyewitnesses' accounts put the number of persons killed at about 200, while official sources put the casualty toll at 58. Now, conservative estimates put the number of displaced persons, mostly the poor from the affected communities, at about 10,000. He said the statement condoled the families of the bereaved, adding that we are not unaware that many of the affected families have lost loved ones in earlier attacks. The NLC also extended heartfelt empathy to hundreds of families that are currently displaced as a result of the recent attack. It said, we understand that the gruesome massacre in the affected villages came on the heels of military bombardment against terrorist elements and camps in parts of the Zamfara state and adjoining location. And that is quite worrying there. That is quite worrying there. But it's all Star Radio UK. Now, what has the UN said about this? But the UN has urged Nigerian government to arrest perpetrators of Zamfara killings. The United Nations has urged the Nigerian government to arrest the perpetrators of recent killings in Zamfara state. The Will reports that over 140 locals were allegedly killed by bandits Kimpin, Bello, Terji and its men during attacks on several villages in Zamfara state. The locals were said to have been shot and killed when Terji and its men were relocating from Shinkafi forest to another forest near Bukuyum and Anka local government areas. Now, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned the attacks in a statement on Monday by his spokesperson Stephen Dujarric. Now, Guterres, who called for the arrest and prosecution of the assailant, assured the Nigerian government of the UN support in the fight against terrorists and other criminals. The Secretary General strongly condemned the appalling attacks perpetrated over the weekend in Nigeria's Zamfara state, in which scores of civilians were killed. The Secretary General urges the Nigerian authorities to spare no effort in bringing those responsible for these heinous crimes to justice. The Secretary General reaffirms the solidarity and support of the United Nations to government and people of Nigeria in their fight against terrorism, now violent extremism and organized crime, the statement said. The UN chief also extended his heartfelt condolences to bereaved families, and we also extend ours to them. But has Nigeria gotten to a place where now there is no turning back? The other time we had the former president Olusegun Obasanjo saying that, well, it's not going to be only stick, but it should be sticks and carrots. So you lure some in, you try to, and then others who are too hard, you crack down on them. Now, what do you think is the way forward? But the Nigerian labor organization, union, did make a statement that actually touched me. Made me actually reflect. They were saying that, look, if there are not enough jobs or the youth are not occupied with work, then they become vulnerable or a prey to these people who undertake such heinous activities. Because if somebody comes, you don't have any money, you don't have anything, you are virtually, you come out from uni, you come out from your college or whatever, and you sit, and in the morning you are looking at your parents' faces, knowing that they went to loan money to push you through education, and you've not got the means to support yourself. And somebody comes and says, well, we're going to take this project, blah, 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 and you can get this for yourself, and you are able to fend for yourself. Now, what do you think will happen? There is so much that individuals can do. It gets to a point where elasticity is no more. So it's stretched beyond. And then what happens? It rips or breaks apart. Well, has Nigeria got to a place where there is a no return? Or do you think some way, somehow, the authorities will be able to crack down? And can they bring these perpetrators to book? Or is it the citizens of the communities that they have gone to hide in their forests who are going to be the ones who are going to suffer the consequences of their attacks, the attacks that have been on them by the military? Well, I want to have your take on it. It will be lovely to know what you think, but it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. What can Buhari do? What can the Nigerian government do? Is it going to be going after small fishes? Those who are calling for separation, secessionists and stuff like that. Is it them that they are still going to be going after? Well, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to almost 11:30. The Niger Delta Group has urged Buhari to end ongoing illegality in NDDC. Civil society group Niger Delta United Congress, The NDUC has flayed President Muhammadu Buhari for allowing the ongoing illegality of sole administrator contraption at Niger Delta Development Commission, which it described as a breach of the law governing the operation of the commission. According to the president of the group, Ebizomo Brisby, the president's action has emboldened certain officials. I didn't understand that. Okay, my apologies. My Bixby is misbehaving. Don't mind them. Okay, according to the president of the group, Ebizome, I know why. Okay, I wouldn't mention the name. The president's action has emboldened certain officials of this government to try and divert attention from the collective legitimate demands of authentic Niger Delta stakeholders for the inauguration of the NDDC governing body. In compliance with the NDDC Enabling Act to ensure proper corporate governance and equitable representation of the 9 constituent states, according to the NDUC, this stems from a story in This Day on January 9, 2022, with the headline NDDC to complete more abandoned projects in 2022. In the report, the NDDC sole administrator Effiong Akwa was reported to have made the statement at a supposed virtual meeting with stakeholders from the 9 states of the Niger Delta. And I ask myself the question again: will the president continue to go after the small fishes, and instead of cracking down on these big hooks who are making a menace of the country? Well, a final story before we bring the updates to a close. Interestingly, a screenshot posted on Facebook in December 21 shows a photo of 3 handcuffed men standing behind a table covered in rows of plastic wrapped packages. 3 Nigerian men who were caught with cocaine ice in Cambodia has been charged to death sentence. The caption above reads, "Rip guys continue sharing until it gets to their various parents." Some Asian countries are known to have harsh punishment for drug offenses, but that's the photo show 3. My apologies, but that's the photo show 3 Nigerians sentenced to death for trafficking cocaine in the Southeast Asian country of Cambodia. What would the Nigerian government do for these individuals? If this is part of the world, we'll have the government now going to, negotiate something on their behalf. They will say whatever, but when it comes to Africa, do we even get that fair representation from our states? And that's why somebody will tell you that when we travel and we go outside the country, we decide there is no point, because when it comes to the crunch, they will not come to your aid. So what's the point? Well, this and a lot more going to be coming your way, but we're going to take a musical break. Wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Which way, Nigeria? It's quite worrying. And when it's all said and done, I'll be bringing you Mr. Frank Davis, and Kojo D will be joining during the course of the program. But wherever you are, thank you very much for staying in touch and staying in tune and listening to us as well. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
To go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. I want to know which way Nigeria. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way?
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world.
Oh yeah. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know which way Nigeria.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
And indiscipline is ruining the country
worldwide,
now.
online 24/7.
Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure, sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. We made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow. Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is headed to. Our ambition to be millionaires is running the country down. We all want to be millionaires and to live in the air. Oh, let's save Nigeria. So
in your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria?
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, we want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Remember that a simple step is the beginning of 1,000,000 miles. Let's start right now to rebuild ourselves so as to make the country smile. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure, I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Heaven and earth will pass away. It is written in the book of God. The good people we shall find their ways, and the meek will inherit the world. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria will fall.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Which way Nigeria? Which way to go?
All around the world.
My fatherland. Oh yeah.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? One more time. Which way Nigeria is heading to?
Hi, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check
me happy. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes.
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:46. Yes, I hope that you enjoyed that tune from Nigeria, and that's the question I'm asking this morning. Do you think Nigeria can find its way back from where they got into, to an extent that now the UN is saying that, look, you have to find these perpetrators of this evil deed and actually punish them, bring them to justice? Do you think the government is going to be able to do so? And will the communities that these terrorists find themselves in not suffer the consequences of any reprisal attacks on these groups? Well, we're going to be looking into that. Yes, but I've got with me Mr. Frank Davis, who is also in the house. Yesterday he was virtual, but today he's in the house physically. Let me say, Frank, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to our listeners. Good afternoon to those who might be in where the afternoon is, and good evening to those of us in Sydney and Auckland.
Those who are in Sydney who are trying to drive Djokovic,
but they lie bad. We're going to hit their eyeballs with the tennis ball if they don't take time.
Well, how are you?
I'm good.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, listen, this Mr. Frank Davis for you. Now, let's quickly just go on to one question that I've posed this morning. Okay, this is a quick one from Nigeria. What do you think about this? We have the UN. First of all, we had the Labour Union of Nigeria telling government that, look, these are the causes of the youth joining such groups. Because the Zamfara issue, the eyewitnesses are saying that about 200 people were massacred. Now, government is saying it's about 58. We have another group of the UN also saying about 158 people who have been massacred, and the UN is now calling on the government to set up. But you're looking at what is going on, and you ask yourself the question: can government get it right? Because the Labour Union was saying that the youth have not got jobs.
Actually, the jobless situation across Africa is not unique to Nigeria. Nigeria seems to be hard pressed because of population. If you look at Lagos, estimates put Lagos population alone to over 20 million, which is very, very, huge. And if you do not have employment for those people, for instance, you're looking at even pressure on infrastructure. You're looking at water, you're looking at electricity, and if all these people are consuming these utilities, transport networks, but they do not have means to be able to adequately even pay for them, then again you look at another challenge for the local government in how to maintain some of those infrastructure and other things. But see, this youth needs to keep the body and soul together first, and which is a problem. And as Africans, we've not been able to basically strategically look at human beings and place them or develop our economies to be able to meet the needs of today. And I dare say that even the future is looking very precarious if nothing is done about it. On the issue about the massacre, actually, whether it is one person, 50, 100 and something, or 200, I would trust more of a local report than something that is coming from the government. I mean, that's what I would trust, because government has not told us that, look, this is how we are able to come with our figures, irrespective of the number. Even if it is one person that was massacred, it is still not acceptable. And we must call on government to act. But the question that you asked, is government able to do it? Actually, the answer to that is no. Where we are now, Buhari government has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that they have failed. Because this is not the first massacre that we've seen. People have been killed. The promises that were made to safeguard the security of the country has been thrown somewhere. So all around you look, government has failed. And it's about them accepting the fact that, look, we need help. Those who, if you are in opposition, you can help us, come and help us, or let's come together and have a dialogue and how we move the country forward. But that is something that African politicians will not do, because at the end of the day, it's more like Arsenal Blaster going to play football. You have a set of players, including the reserve bench, which are your ministers, your trusted people. You put them in, they are losing. But it's still saying, yes, we can do it. We are losing. First goal, you are losing. Second goal, we can do it. Third goal, we are losing. Die minute, you are making changes. If those people you are changing, bringing were good, why didn't you start them? Why didn't you substitute them?
This man is talking about the Black Stars game.
No, but at the end of the day, actually, but that is exactly what is happening. Because the set of people Buhari have now, Buhari cannot tell me today that he has any magic formula that will transform Nigeria. No. As a football team, the first 15 minutes, if you start playing, you do not see any action. That half is gone. The second, when they start the second half, 15 minutes, if a president comes to power, the goodwill that he has, if he's not able to mobilize that, we are the first term of Buhari, first half is gone. We did not see action. We consider goals. Second half has started. A penalty has been awarded against us. Our referee, the referee is helping us, but still we are not able to deliver. So anything Buhari will say now to say that we are able to deliver, for me, I'll have a look at it with a bit of
skepticism.
Very.
Well, listeners, that's Frank's take on the Nigerian issue that we've talked about this morning. But it's up to you. Maybe you think that there's still hope. There's still hope. And you think that maybe you've got an idea that maybe government can implement and then we can get Nigeria back to where it's supposed to be. Fine, bring it on. We will allow you to add your take to it as well. In the next 8 minutes, I'll be opening the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions. But now let's come to the UK. Let's look at some of the stories making the rounds here. Now, I was asking this morning, hopefully I will see whether I can conduct a survey on it. Now, do you think Partygate is going to bring Boris Johnson down? That's the question I'm asking. Partygate. Now,
I do not think so. I do not think it's going to bring him down. It is going to be very, very, very difficult to bring him down. The reason being that there are a lot of issues that we are confronted with. If these are not normal times, assuming we didn't have COVID, then I'll say yes. It's likely to bring him down. But where we are now, it is going to be very, very difficult for anyone to want to change the driver.
Okay.
They wouldn't want to. Look, we're confronted. We are in a twin situation. We have the Brexit situation that is still being sorted out. Especially if you look at the Northern Ireland issue, which is a very, nobody wants to go there. Nobody wants to carry that burden.
Because of where we are at the moment. You made your own mess.
That's it. Then the party is divided into two. Conservatives are divided into two. Those who thought that Theresa May was unfairly treated are in the party. They are strong over there, and those who think that Boris Johnson formula, which is now not working, they are also over there. Now the question is, if you take Boris out, are you bring his loyalists or you bring someone from the other side? Those on the other side wouldn't want to go and be inheriting this mess. The Irish mess. Nobody is going to want to take that bedding. At least the one that sorted out before anything. And the way they have 80 majority in what they call parliament, those people are not going to be willing to lose their seats if they go for any general election. And therefore Labour coming in or anything to do with a general election at this time is way not the best. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to call for a general elections now. So Labour case is out. Within the party itself, it's not going to work. So I don't see how the party gate can bring him.
But can't the Conservatives Party itself decide to change him?
That's what I'm saying.
Put somebody there, and then there will be no election. But this is the new Conservative
no
leader.
one within the party will want to take that responsibility now. No one. I mean, Michael Gove will be the obvious choice. It's not going to, because he again is at the Brexit side, the extreme Brexit side. I mean, although he flexed between the two, he's not going to be willing to do that now. And with the crisis we are in, having to do with COVID and all this, and actually I don't see how anyone is going to make that move now.
Because this morning there were a few people who, since yesterday I was monitoring the reactions by some group of people, those who lost loved ones and were told you cannot, even during funerals, you cannot sit because you are not in the same bubble with the person. You cannot sit together. You have to be socially distant. I remember.
Oh yes, those were very strict. I mean, funeral, you can't even go to bury your this thing. Funeral, they were restricting people to about 20 people. You can't even go. And some parents died. They left home that were going to hospital. They never saw them again. Some up to now don't know exactly where they were buried. Don't forget, we had a few mass burials that took place. So if in the midst of all that, and you have where the decisions are coming from, doing something else, telling us, don't look at what we are doing, that do what we say. The hypocrisy to the highest order. It is tarnishing his image, and especially when he appeared before the parliament and defended that, thinking that details will not come out. Months ago he defended that. He basically, spoke eloquently around it, trying to rubbish everything that was coming up. Yet details are coming up. What do you do now?
This one is his enemies and his foes who have come against him.
Well, Dominic at the center of it all. At the center